What you see right here is a freshly made batch of Soursop bitters, D.I.Y. And essentially, as you can see behind me here, it's very simple. The ingredients is to have bitter melon leaves and soursop leaves. And overall, essentially, the secret to soursop bitters in general is the fact that, or anything really in terms of quote unquote bitters, right, is that you're going to combine a certain herb with a bitter herb. Now, specifically for soursop leaves, if you were to get them and seep them by themselves and drink it, as I made in a previous video, drinking soursop leaves by itself, the leaves do not have a bitter taste at all. It's just straight, nice herbal taste. And so when I tasted what soursop leaves on their own taste like for themselves, I'm like, wait a minute. That means all these brands selling soursop bitters is really combining a bitter herb with soursop leaves. And so the herb here, bitter melon, in Jamaica they call it Soursop. I see that as well before, drank it, and when I tasted that, it was bitter like crazy. And I was like, whoa. And so thus I realized, if I want to make soursop bitters, what I'm gonna get is the bitter melon leaves and the soursop leaves, and as instructions show here, boil them together. And so all you have to do is boil soursop leaves with bitter melon leaves in water. Let the soursop leaves and the bitter melon leaves seep for 30 to 60 minutes. And finally remove the soursop leaves and the bitter melon leaves. And you can drink it hot, like I just literally finished making this batch. It's hot right now. Or you can let it cool to room temperature. Or you can refrigerate it and drink it cold. But overall, that's really all it takes. And simple. Now, there are, other methods to really do this, but I want to keep it very, very simple, straight to the point. So what you're going to do is you're going to combine both of these herbs together and boil them in water. Now note, bitter melon is really bitter, so you don't need a lot of it, just a tiny bit to cause it to soak into the water and give the water the bitter taste. When it comes to soursop leaves, a good amount can make it strong, but even 3 to 4 leaves is fine for a small quantity of water that essentially this is going to be made in. So let's go. So I have my water here and I have this electric kettle, right? And this is how I'll be doing it, just to get straight to the point, make this video very simple. So overall, you're going to put your soursop leaves into this thing here. Push it down. And then you're going to also take the soursop leaves, or what's also called bitter melon. There you go. I'm going to push it down because I want the water to get it when I put it in the in here, right? And there we go. And then for put it in, we're gonna pour some water. Hopefully this is enough. Then we're gonna take this here. Am I doing this right? Okay. I'm just gonna check. See, okay. I might need to add some more water. I'm gonna add some more water to go up to right here. All right, so I got another glass of water. Okay, that should be enough to really get all the herbs. All right, and as you know with electric kettle, just gonna put it on here. All right, so as you can see right now, it just finished boiling. This kettle here boiled the water in like 5 minutes. So the next thing that you're going to do is essentially allow this to steep for at least 30 minutes to really draw the the benefits from soursop leaves and also the bitter melon. And as you will see over time that the color of the water is going to essentially change to get a little bit darker. Now of course if you did this with a pot and if you did this with a lot more herbs in terms of the quantity of the soursop leaves and the bitter melon, the color probably would have changed much faster. But since we use a little bit, it's going to take a little time. So let it draw out for at least 30 minutes. All right, so as you can see here, the water is now settled. This is the color it changes to. And so from here, it's essentially quote unquote like tea, right? Because it's hot water and herb. But as I shared, because of the bitterness of Cersei, this is like you're not gonna drink this whole entire thing or even like a big glass, right? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a container and you're gonna pour. Okay, all right, perfect. This is about 32 ounces, right? And then from there, you could put as much as essentially maybe like just a dab, like this is about I think a 16-ounce glass. So at least just 2 ounces as if you're taking a shot. Like that. A little bit more. Like this, right? This actually don't look like it is enough because this liquid here is going to be bitter from the Cersei. I also just got a shot glass here to show from a shot standpoint. Ready? Ooh, okay, it's hot. Now, you don't have to drink this hot. You can also let it cool down, right? And you could also refrigerate it. So, ready? Okay, there you go. So, of course, because the little bit of herb I use, it's like, light in color like this. However, if you wanted to make it more and put more soursop leaves and more bitter melon to make it stronger in color, you can do that. But for this purpose, as a batch for individual, that's gonna last maybe like a week, right? This is all you essentially need. All right, so as you can see here, I'm gonna take the shot. Now, as I shared, you don't have to drink it hot. And I'm breathing like this because, as I've shared before, I've put a lot of bitter melon when making this, and I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Bitter melon is bitter. So with even the light amount of bitter melon I've put, lessens the bitterness, but I know it's still gonna be bitter. Okay. Ah. Mm. So this amount, slight bitterness, right, as an aftertaste, not as strong. In fact, I can even taste a little bit more of the soursop, but of course that's because, as you can see when I was making this, there's a little bit more soursop leaves than the bitter melon. But if you're not satisfied with the taste, if you feel like you're tasting more soursop, then you put more bitter melon. If you feel like you're not tasting the soursop, you put less bitter melon, right? But overall, this is how you can make your own DIY soursop bitters. It's simply just combining a bitter herb, such as bitter melon, along with soursop leaves. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.